it's okay not to have an opinion. It's simple
Yeah.
as that. You know, and us, we talk about the wise people, more quiet, more reserved. It's like we'll say the idiot or the stupid person is the one that keeps rambling on. That's what we're known. But then now it's like the person rambling on is getting the respect. It's like give them the microphone.
Yeah.
Everyone retweet them. And it's like the person who's actually wise isn't getting the attention. And that's the tough part of our generation, where you're actually like not respected if you don't have an opinion. Like, how can you not? You don't have knowledge on the topic.
Welcome back to another FairDinkum episode. There is only 3 of us today, so inshallah it'll be nice, short and sharp. And this discussion might be a bit provocative, so we want to hear your comments down below. And yeah, so just get involved in the discussion. I want to ask you boys what you think of cancel culture, and I want to get your thoughts on how effective it is and all that sort of stuff. But I want to start off with, do you fear being cancelled?
You should have actually told us that.
Yeah. Damn.
All organic, see this? It's all organic. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. Bang.
I'd say right now, because like in terms of how big we are, you'd be lying to yourself if you say you're not scared of being cancelled.
Okay.
Like certain, I'm saying getting certain guests for certain topics, because we're still learning who to get and what you want to talk about and what not to say. But it is, I don't know, it's something you can't predict though. I feel like you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know people's opinions, what they're going to think of certain things. What do you think?
I feel like it depends on why you get cancelled.
Yeah.
I feel like getting cancelled for the wrong reason, that could be like bad for my family and something. Like it's less about me. It's more about like my sister, my mom. You know, if you got a spouse and kids, it's like you don't want them to have a rough life like here in the community, stuff like that. I feel like I'm more likely to be misunderstood than cancelled. Like I don't think my statements or my opinions are too out there where it's like, hey, I'm going to cancel Ashraf. You know,
So you're very careful with what you say, yeah.
but even that, like in the community, like I'm not someone who's very opinionated, going to jump up about X, Y, and Z whenever there's a new topic. You know, I kind of know what I should talk about, what I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So because of that, I can kind of read between the lines. So because of that, the likelihood of me getting cancelled isn't high unless like extra content or I have a guest or we say something silly. You know, like now a lot of time people get cancelled for something they say 5 years ago, and something you said 5 years ago was okay. Like society didn't say there wasn't a problem back then. Now looking back, it's like, whoa, how can he say that? It's like it's a different mindset.
It's out of context, yeah.
That's the only thing. So I feel like being misunderstood is more likely for me.
Okay.
How about you? Do you fear it?
I don't fear being cancelled for the right reasons. Say if I get cancelled for doing something dumb, or if I do
What would be something dumb?
Obviously something that's
Like really dumb,
like
you're saying? Like
something you can't come back from. I hope I won't be, because obviously nobody knows the circumstances of life. Obviously I'll try my best to stay away from things that aren't ideal. But for me, inshallah, I think unless like if it's something that I said that somebody disagrees with, and I feel I'm pretty careful with what I say and what I do. So if I get cancelled for something that, for example, they rubbed this one person the wrong way, and then they caught opinions from like 100 other people that have the same opinion as that person. It's like, bro, yes, man, no one cares, yeah? But when it comes to like, if I do something to just specifically be controversial, like I see this cancel culture thing as like 2 sides of the same spectrum. Does that make sense? So you got the ones who try to get cancelled, you know, that overdo it, like, oh my God, I'm so out of pocket, I'm actually hiss, man. And then you got the ones that are like, anything random, like you breathe the wrong way, you're cancelled, all that sort of stuff. I feel like they're on the same wavelength, you know?
Talk about people not understanding something you said and like an opinion. It's just someone's opinion. It's like, for example, I'm going to touch on the marriage episode when obviously marriage is a sensitive topic because like the biggest decision in your life, and everyone has a different mindset on how to get married. You know, I had a close mate of mine when he wanted to get married to his spouse. They used to argue a lot before they even got married. Like be screaming, "You're such an idiot, you're such a this," and swearing at each other. I'm thinking that would not work like in my relationship at all. Like if I got married, I do not want that. And he goes, "Nah, I actually enjoy arguing with my wife. I want to have debates with her." I'm thinking, I do not want that. But that's what he wants, and that's what makes his relationship healthy, happily married. You know. So obviously it's a thing where sometimes people bring their own mindset into and say, so how should be doing this? He's stupid to think like this. It's like you're coming with your lens.
Exactly.
You know? So when you did get misunderstood or misinterpreted? Did that like fear that maybe people gonna think I'm bad in the community? You know, maybe I can't get married or anything like that, or not really?
Nah, bro. Wallah,
You serious?
I'm being dead set. Wallah, I couldn't care because I knew that, and especially because knowing where the noise was coming from. They're people I wouldn't even go to for advice. You know what I mean? There's somebody whose opinion I don't rate. I don't rate your opinion. If I wouldn't come to you, even in the smallest of my life, in the smallest issues in my life, like I wouldn't come to you for advice. What do you think I would take your opinion on me seriously? You know, I don't know. For me, it's like you gotta separate the noise from like the truth. You know what's actually happening, and sometimes, wallah, bro, it's people have agendas and people have like preconceived notions of others, and that I don't know, maybe some guy doesn't like you because I don't know, like you have something he doesn't have, or maybe some person doesn't like you because they feel like they can do something with the platform that you have instead of you having it. Like they just oh, why don't I have that? Or why does this person get to have that and I don't? I think I'll do a better job. So now everything that you say automatically, how do I debunk this person? It's kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like they have this agenda now to just basically like just keep debunking this bloke or keep proving this guy that he's not worthy of the platform that he has or whatever it is. So for me, it's like, come on, bro. If we're gonna be honest, I feel like I'm very careful with what I say, and if I said something wrong, these things are edited.
Yeah,
I can edit it out. So I've already watched what's happened. I don't believe what I said was wrong. So if I put it out there, then I've done this like calculatedly. Like there's a reason for it being there.
And it doesn't matter what you say. There's always going to be someone that has a different opinion.
100%.
You know, like we talk about sports all the time. It's like there's been some stupid calls on sports, but it's a part of sport. It's a part of life. You know, you're going to make mistakes in life. But I've realized the people that have the strongest opinions, like at least in us in the community, not maybe in the general sense, are the people that know us the least or watch us the least. You know, but sometimes, a lot of times people, I don't know who gave them the right or the power to do it, but they get this idea where they're the best at analyzing people.
Wallah. Oh my God.
I just met you, man, I know you. It's like, okay, tell me, you do this. It's like, you know, when you watch you watch Suits or something and someone go, oh, some movie, and you're like, I know you. You're raised by a single mom, and they tell you a story. Like in the movie, it's all true.
Yeah.
You don't have that skill in
No
real
one
life.
has
Sorry,
that.
Muhammad, you know.
No one has that, bro. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you look twice, 3 times to the left, and that means automatically you're lying about what you say.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And
man.
maybe they get one thing right, of one person, and that's what drives them. It's like, I'm actually right, so it must be for this person and that person as well.
But it's usually very common characteristics, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
They remind me of horoscopes. You know those people? You will prosper in life. And all of a sudden you cross the road and the grass like turn green.
Do you want a new job? You're not getting paid enough, yeah?
I'm telling you, bro. It's just very common stuff that they predict about a person. Like, oh, you're an angry person. In your head, you've been angry twice or 3 times. You're like, oh, shit, I am an angry person. Bro, it's a common like emotion that human beings feel.
It is.
But yeah, I know what you mean, bro.
It's important for us to learn, like you said, to block out the noise. But I think getting cancelled is something where it's like you're not in control of it, but you kind of are.
Yeah.
Because you get to, in a world like this, you get to write your own script.
100%.
You get to decide exactly what gets shown to the world. But other people that like maybe like sports stars, you get recorded 24 hours a day. Celebrities, like you could do one wrong thing, boom. One bad comment, you know, paparazzi are there trying to see you make a mistake. Did you misinterpret this? There's no lens on us. No one, how many times have we got a reply, why did you say this, Ashraf? It doesn't happen on that small level. So I think being cancelled or that idea isn't like, we're not thinking about it a lot. Maybe when we start doing extra content and start doing vlogs and other videos, people are going to start thinking, why are you doing this? Who gives you the right? And then it's that thing about being misjudged where someone watches a video of any of us and they're like, why does Ashraf think he could talk about this?
Or he's so cocky or something like that. Yeah, like, oh, look at the way he's moving.
But it's, you watch 10 seconds, you know? And that's why the bit like, you can't
banter.
judge.
100%. 100%.
What do you got for us?
Is it a good or a bad thing though? If we're actually breaking it down for what it is cancel culture a good or a bad thing?
I can go because I'm not really in the loop because I don't have social media. You know the same thing. Like I think frequently on social media, it's a big thing. Remember the thing on Twitter when Abshid was here and was talking about it?
Oh,
So if you have Twitter, if you have Instagram, you're probably in the loop a lot more than me. But from what I know, I think cancel culture can be a good thing, especially when it's used at the right time. But I feel like it gets misused.
Yep.
And the reasons for it. Like, I think people are a little too sensitive on it.
And
at least in the general sense, you know?
It's used too often.
Yeah.
Like too frequent. Like people can just jump, like they take one thing and just jump with that.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of how frequent cancel culture or cancelling someone is.
For me, yeah, it's a good thing. Obviously, for one reason, it's a good thing because it keeps people who have some sort of element of power or some sort of like responsibility in this world, keeps them on their toes, you know? Doesn't make them feel that, oh, don't forget who I am, I can just go, you know what I mean? Like Prince Andrew, whatever it is with allegations that he has now with underage girls and stuff like that, and Epstein and stuff like that. I understand why they would need cancel culture within their like realm and that community and stuff like that. And in all honesty, bro, like it's better for everybody. So like people don't feel like they can get away with things too easily. Does that make sense? If there's no like accountability for anyone's actions, then we're basically hitting anarchy. Do you know what I mean?
Some people are uncancelable. Like
some people are,
so they hit that level. So that's the only thing. Like, is there a level where when you hit it, it's like, who cares what I say?
Because I think like when you see, for example, Mason Greenwood, what happened to him recently, there's without a shadow of a doubt so much evidence against him that everyone's like, okay, this, I don't care.
So there is still a level even.
Yeah. Like, bro, there's certain things like I can't really say the R word or whatever. Like if somebody R's somebody, or if somebody like is a pedo or something like that, like those are like, you can't come back from that. Like that clear. House of Cards guy, is it House of Cards? Kevin Spacey.
Yeah,
he was fondling little boys and stuff like that.
It's like Cosby and stuff. You
can't get away with it, bro.
Like
you can't.
It's known.
Like there's certain levels where if you transgress those boundaries, khalas.
Okay.
Whoever you are, whatever
that's
you
now
do,
though.
Like no brain.
Yeah. But that's why I think cancel culture is a good thing. On the contrary, there are opportunists, and with everything, with situations like this, there's always opportunists within the situation that are lurking and they're just waiting. There's a lot of attention seekers who they're just looking for things. And we'll give an example just to like further clarify what Ashraf was talking about last time about the Twitter stuff. There was a girl claiming, and there was like a Twitter thread ages ago where they were talking about guys who had basically R'd them. Like, you remember this, yeah? You remember this? So what happened was they started a Twitter thread, name and shame every guy and give all the description of the incident and put a photo up of the person so we can, name and shame the person and we could get this stuff going, And the problem is with that, we don't know who's saying what and what's true and what's not true. And what happened was there was one girl, we don't know exactly what her name is or whatever, just for the sake of it, we're not going to say it or describe it. She had claimed that one man had basically done things with her on a certain date at a certain time. And she'd given the whole story and all this sort of stuff. And everyone was about to cancel this brother. And then luckily enough, on his Snapchat, he had a story of him in another place with other people at that same exact time she described.
Wow.
And he was doing something else.
He had an alibi.
So he had an alibi. And then everybody goes, hang on, wait a second now. How much of this can we actually believe? Now when we see it, now there's girls that actually are suffering who are going to look at underneath a different lens because of the opportunists who are trying to seek it, like trying to be attention seekers, or they're trying to they've got a vendetta against that person. They're trying to ruin that man or woman's reputation.
They always say it's such a small number that ruins it for everyone else.
100%.
And in this case, obviously, it's a bit sensitive. It's tough to kind of pinpoint it. But in life, there's a lot of times where this happens, where a lot of times the small number of people ruin it for everyone else. There's that opportunity. But I think what you're trying to preach as well is, in theory, cancel culture is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of sets limits to people. It's like, how far can I go? But then it's more like in action, how people react to it and how people use it is misused. In my eyes,
It's whoever's behind the gun, bro. That's the problem, Whoever's, and the problem is the people who are pulling the trigger these days. they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't.
Yeah, I
they
know what you
shouldn't.
mean. Yeah.
They shouldn't even be having.
But
a
that's
say
social
anymore.
media because everyone has the right and power to do it.
Exactly.
All you have to do is press retweet. So one guy makes an outrageous statement. Everyone presses retweet. It goes 100 retweets. Like, now this guy has an opinion.
Yep.
The next time he gets 200, 300. It's like,
100%.
oh, now you're the guy that decides. It's
Yeah.
like,
And that person with the opinion, like, they don't even need to give out their name or details or anything. Like, it can be good or bad with that. If someone's opinion is like legit of one topic, but then it's like, how can you like be trying to cancel people for no reason, and then you get the opportunity to without saying your details or whatever it is? It's just like, I feel like it's an unfair. Like, it's just unfair to like have the opportunity, but then that's just how social media works these days.
Yeah, the problem is, you've got people who, like we were saying from before, just share different opinions to another person. Yeah, and they're kind of like catastrophizing situations, and they're making them out to be so much worse than what they are, but only because they feel like, oh, this person's a scumbag because we don't share the same thought process or views on a certain situation. Yeah, and what happens is, like we were saying, they have a court of people who agree with them because they share similar views or perspectives on the matter. And then what happens is, if you get a big enough crowd behind something,
you call it the echo chamber? Is that what you
yes, it's the echo chamber of like everybody shares the same opinion and whatever. What happens is, you get to a point where you can't like what do you say? Can't look away. It's a problem now. Now it's an issue. Now everyone can see it like very clearly. Oh wait, there's 10,000 retweets on this, that this person's a scumbag because he said this and that. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, now this must be true. If 10,000 people are retweeting this, or if this petition got, I don't know, 10,000 signatures, then now we know 100% for.
I wanted to know, boys, why do you think cancel culture has been trending the last couple of years? Like, why is that a thing nowadays? Like, maybe because social media and stuff, but where's like the psychological side of it? What do you guys think? What's the desire in people to cancel other people? Why is it doing it?
Everyone having the opportunity to have their voice heard.
Yeah.
I think, and valued. Like,
relevant, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And like get more attention as well. Like, someone can say outrageous things about like Joe Rogan, for example, and then their opinions like valued, and then that's something they've never got in the real world. Like, even though they're not showing themselves on Twitter, but then they still get their opinion valued, and people start to agree with them, retweet them, and it's like all of a sudden my opinion has so much power, so I can say what the hell I want. Like, that's just how it works.
Behind the comfort of my screen.
Exactly, and your keyboard, yeah.
You know, the problem is as well, I think a lot of the times, like Ali was saying, there are people who don't get enough significance in the real world. Their voices aren't heard, or they're not really appreciated like they hope to be appreciated. And all of a sudden now, because they know there's a lot of people that share the same opinion about this situation. So I saw one thing, okay, then this tripped me out because ages ago I was watching, I don't think this is something I should have an opinion on, but ages ago I was watching the UFC, I was watching reruns of John Jones' fight, from when he was younger, from when he first started. And then John Jones was wearing black trunks, and the guy he was fighting was wearing grey trunks. He was a white guy. And then one of the other commentators goes, oh, John Jones wearing black trunks, and the other bloke wearing in the grey trunks. And then Joe Rogan goes, no, also you could say John Jones black guy, and this guy white guy. Yeah? And then I was like, did he just say that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, did he just say that? Obviously, for me, like, it's like, I can't really make an opinion on whether or not that's okay. Do you know what I mean? From what I saw there in that situation, I thought it was out of pocket and it was uncalled for, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think he should have said that. I think it was not the time and the place to be saying stuff 100%. Like that. But who am I to say that that's not a bigger deal for somebody who is affected by situations in their life that, you know, that are dictated based off of their color or their creed or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I don't have a say in the situation. I'll sit down and I'll shut my mouth because it's not relevant to me. But if I come in there up in arms and going, yeah, he's a scumbag. This is that. It's not my battle. Yeah. Obviously, I don't agree with what he did. 100%, he's wrong. But like, there are educated people who know why it's wrong, and they know exactly what to say in that circumstance that describes it to a T. Because then you have people who don't know what they're saying. Like, there's that chick that walked up to I don't know if it was a chick. There was a person that walked up to Jordan Peterson at the university and started throwing like, "You're a homophobe. You're transphobic. You don't call people by their pronouns." You remember that?
Yeah.
That person looked like an absolute fool. And what did they do? For the whole group of people that are in similar, like they have similar thought patterns to that person, who are trying to actually prove that point true, you just stuffed it up for everyone. Now you all look unreasonable, and you all look like you're just cut and you're vexed at this bloke.
Yeah, emotional.
You know?
And I think with the Joe Rogan comment, like, in the sense that you don't need to react, it's something where sometimes we don't need to, like, make a statement ourselves, but we're supposed to, like you said, someone that's more well-versed on the topic, kind of join forces with them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not about every single person having an opinion and getting emotional and reacting, but it's about the right people. Like, for example, when Palestine, everything was happening, it's like you said, it's not inaction. We'd rather get someone knowledgeable, let them spread the knowledge, and we kind of help them, because they're the ones with knowledge. If not, Twitter just lets every single guy, Joey121, preach what he wants, and then the people with knowledge aren't getting the retweets.
Imagine this. Imagine we go around saying, like, we have no education on why we hate Israel, or why we hate the Zionist regime. Oh yeah, F the Jews, F this, F that. These guys are all anti-Semitic. And then all the people that are on the fence, or all the people who we're trying to put across the right perspective, or we're trying to relay the right message to, who can actually change or try and like help the situation out, they're gonna look and go, hang on. All these people just don't like Israel because they're anti-Semitic, not because they have grounds for doing it, not because they actually have like proper reasoning and evidence as to why they're not to be supported. And then you got, like, for example, I don't know, Muhammad, or like you said, Joey 101 or whatever it is, going around yelling out, F the Jews, F the Jews, F the Jews, F the Jews. And like, bro, you sound like a jahash. You sound like an idiot. You're actually making everybody who supports this cause look dumb too. Because now it looks like our grounds for it is just basically anti-Semitism. When it's not. There's actually a whole reasoning behind why the Zionist movement and the whole Israeli regime to take over Palestine and whatever is genocide, you know? And a person who has the knowledge about everything to do with that situation, that cause and that circumstance, is going to be able to describe it to a T. So somebody who has the influence, like a politician, or if not, somebody who's sitting on the fence, who's like an everyday person, goes, okay, wait a second, this guy's making a lot of sense. He's not just yelling and barking like a dog. You know, he's making a lot of sense here. So I support what he supports. That's how you get people. That's how you change minds and change hearts. By being like educated about what you're talking about. And when you have no clue what you're saying, just...
And the people of knowledge can see through that. As soon as someone's knowledgeable on a topic, as soon as you open your mouth, like Jordan Peterson, when he hears the person speak, he knows straight away.
You've seen it, yeah?
Yeah, but what type of person they are. And that's where I feel like in the 21st century, it's hard not to have an opinion. Like, in the sense of, you ask someone a question, it's like, how can you not have an opinion? It's like, you're in the wrong for not having an opinion. But then if you go back generations, you know, like Marcus Aurelius says, it's okay not to have an opinion. It's simple as that. You know, and us, we talk about the wise people, more quiet, more reserved. It's like the idiot or the stupid person is the one that keeps rambling on. That's what we're known. But then now it's like the person rambling on is getting the respect. It's like, give them the microphone. Everyone retweet them. And it's like the person who's actually wise isn't getting the attention. And that's the tough part of our generation, where you're actually like not respected if you don't have an opinion. It's like, how can you not? You don't have knowledge on the topic, and then instead, rather with 1% of knowledge, make an opinion.
100%.
It's like, come on, man. How sad's that?
Because then you get yourself in situations where someone asks you, okay, why? And then you don't have an answer because you're not educated. You don't have the reasoning behind why you feel the way you feel. You're just emotional now. And I was like, so you just hate people basically. But there was Ahmed. Do you remember J. Cole? You remember when he all the Black Lives Matter stuff was happening, and they were doing all the protests and stuff? There was another what was her name? Is it she? Is that her name? Her.
The
Is it
artist.
The singer, her.
I can't remember. I can't remember if it was.
She's in a movie. What's the movie called? Nah, some family movie.
I don't
bro.
think it was her. It was more like she's like a political rapper, or like a. She does like a lot of tweets and stuff like that about Black Lives Matter and stuff like. I'm not too sure, but but yeah, basically she beefed J. Cole, saying that he doesn't do enough or he's not bringing enough light to the circumstances that was going on.
Because he didn't respond to any of the Black Lives Matter or anything. He was quiet and doing that movement.
Look, people come with their own expectations. Like Zaha in the Premier League.
Yeah,
What did he do?
he didn't stay. He didn't know. Yeah,
Come on, bro.
but the thing was, yeah, J. Cole, yeah, what happened was he just said, "This is a place for people of education to speak. I have no education in the matter. I support the situation, and I want people like you." He said that to the lady. I can't remember her name, but we'll find out. I want people like you who have the education, who have the right things to say, to interject, and for me to support and retweet what you're saying, and then I'll back you. But I have no clue what I'm saying, so what I'm doing is I'm gonna support as much as I can, but to a degree I'm out of my depths. And J. Cole, bro, we've listened to all his music.
But also sometimes, like, we watch The Last Dance and people asking Michael Jordan for his political opinion. It's like, but I'm a basketball player. Why does my political opinion matter? And sometimes, like, obviously J. Cole, we love his mindset and philosophy, but also there's certain times where it's like he knows people like Tasneem, for example, with the Palestine situation. People have studied their life, journalism, 10, 15 years, international relations. They know exactly what's going on. Why does J. Cole or Michael Jordan or some guy like me deserve to have an opinion?
Yeah,
There's people that put their lives towards it. They're way more knowledgeable. Rather go to them. But sometimes it's like, I can't quote some random journalist. You guys won't know. If I quote Michael Jordan, I say he says this, it's like credibility, sounds nicer.
Oh, bro,
and that's what, you know?
Bro, yeah.
There was this one incident. You know when 9/11 happened? Apparently they were on the news, yeah. And then so what happened was the attacks were happening and they were crossing live. And then they go, "We're gonna cross live now to Ja Rule, and Ja Rule's gonna tell his opinion on the situation." What the hell? What's Ja Rule gonna do with 9/11, bro? What's he gonna say? You know?
Exactly. That's a perfect example of the J. Cole thing, where it's like, why don't you have opinion? Everyone is expected to have opinion. Every artist, every athlete. But then props to J. Cole, like, he knows his limit of his knowledge. And whereas like a lot of people don't understand that, and that's where they got to figure it out. Like, okay, this is not my thing to talk about. I need to just support and like keep it there. That's my limit.
Yeah.
You know, but even if you know the answer, sometimes you don't have to go preach it and stuff like that. Like, I remember hearing the scholars of the past, they used to get asked a question, like, how do you do this? You know, like maybe wudu. How do you make wudu? They go, come back to me in a week. And their students will say, you knew the answer. Why didn't you give it? And he goes, because then I can do further research. I can kind of teach the person patience and all this stuff. There's all these other lessons to it, not just giving the answer straight away.
Yep.
It's like Omar Suleiman did a 3-hour, this is one of the only things I remember. He did 3 hours on each of the 4 imams, a lecture. I watched it in Jordan. And I remember he spoke about Imam Malik, and he was known as the, like, La Adri, I don't know Sheikh. Okay, so all the people in North Africa came together from different countries and they put together 40 questions to go. Someone's going to Medina, because it's not a frequent trip you do, and to have the time to ask. They go, they put 40 questions together. How do you do this? What's this? What's the fiqh of this? They go, they wait about a year. The person goes to Medina, comes back. Out of the 40 questions, 36 of them, the answer was, I don't know. He was the most knowledgeable man on earth at the time. He knew the answers. A lot of time, but there's hikmah behind it. There's wisdom behind it. Obviously, maybe some of them he didn't want to answer over writing and stuff like that, but it's not a bad thing to say, I don't know. Like, the most knowledgeable man on earth said, I don't know. And sometimes we feel like if someone goes, what's your opinion on, we'll say, Palestine or Black Lives Matter, I go, I don't know. I'm the I'm the stupid one.
You're the dumb
like,
one.
It's like, subhanAllah, man, how you can get misunderstood.
100%.
To say, like, just people, when they watch people like idols or rappers or whatever, whoever it is, and they see them preach about how they went through or what they went through, like their lives, and then they expect them to speak for them. But this is my personal experience. If I knew about the topic, I would have spoke up about it. But if I'm not going to talk about it, this is just my experience. That's how I live. And people don't know that out of your experiences. You can't speak on what you haven't experienced.
That's also a good way to talk from. If you're talking from a place of experience, no one can say, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Because like this happened to me.
I know
what do you want me to do? Yeah.
Exactly. But just to touch on what you were saying from before about the not knowing things. I remember listening to Hoblos lecture. And Hoblos was going off about certain things like, why do we always need reasoning behind things? Like why we believe what we believe, you know? Like sometimes the explanation that Allah SWT had decreed, isn't that enough? Isn't that enough?
Why do we wash our arms and our hands 3 times or whatever? Yeah.
It's like if you know that you believe in Allah SWT wholeheartedly, khalas, that's it. I submitted as a Muslim. Yeah. If I submitted as a Muslim, what that means is that everything that Allah SWT has decreed that's it. I've submitted to it and I believe it. Sami'na wa ata'na. That's it. We hear, we obey. But why is it that now this brother wants to come around talking about why we don't eat pork? Oh, because the parasite and hack. And that's what he was saying. And the thing is like, the parasites within the thing and then it gets you sick or, you know, or the pig fell down from heaven and flat on his face and blah, blah, blah. Do you know? Or he's like, isn't it enough to know that your Lord is the one that decreed it and that's enough? You know? And for us, bro, wallah, we sit here and we all think that we need explanations. We need 100% explanations as to what, but sometimes we don't have the answer. Khalas.
It's simple. Because we even get I've seen in the past, we've gotten questions I don't know, from YouTube or social media. People give your opinion of this in Islam. Saying it to us, us boys. I'm thinking we're not that knowledgeable. I don't know who you think we are. But then it's some people just want to see your opinion because you're out there in the public eye. They want your opinion on almost everything.
But you have to know what topics you're knowledgeable about. There's a certain reason we've picked certain topics, and that's our niche, that's our field, that's our knowledgeable areas. But there's certain topics that we're probably never going to speak about. Or if we are, it's only going to be with the guest. You know, it's like the other day I showed you that podcast. We don't have to name them. But did you see their first 10 episodes when I sent the screenshot? Come on, bro. And it's that's exactly what, if you have the intention to get views, maybe show how opinionated you are. It's like when people talk about and they say, you know, I hear a lot in the guys in the community, there are 3 of them having a chat. They're like, man, this chat is so interesting. We should have a podcast and have a chat about it. You know what I mean? People start podcasts because their chat is so interesting. But then us, it's a lot of times guests came or even our friends have developed that mindset. It's it's not about us anymore. It's about the guest and it's about the knowledge.
What do we take from it, bro?
Yeah.
We just come in here to idle chat, bro. And wasting our times and wasting people's times too.
100%.
Just because it has a nice title or a nice thumbnail. All of a sudden now that's it. Khalas, that's a beneficial thing. It's beneficial because it seems like it's nice, but when you look past the top layer, it's just empty idle chat. There's no need for it, you know.
And that's where it goes back to the original thing about me being misunderstood. And I feel like maybe you guys might have a similar thing. But a lot of times, like we said, there's certain topics we like to talk about, but we're not one-dimensional people. We like sports, we like physical health, you know, we like the deen. See how we just switched from cancel culture to the deen, and we got some interesting points. We like psychology, philosophy, you know, we can kind of chat about some of those topics. And I feel like sometimes people like to group you as one thing. He's the sucker guy.
Label you. Yeah.
Label you. He's the funny guy. He can only do, if you're funny, you can't have a serious video.
Yep.
You can't give me financial advice and then the next minute you're doing some donut challenge. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So because of that,
it seems cringe. Honestly, I've seen guys online where they're talking about serious things and then they decided to go, this is something lighthearted. And then it was like, what are you doing?
It doesn't work. They shouldn't try.
It's hard to do, bro.
Yeah,
and it's not. That's why you have to be intentional. But that's where you can be misunderstood.
Yeah.
Because we might do a soccer. For example, this comes out Monday. Then Thursday we have a soccer video and we're going crazy at each other. It's what the hell? Conflicting views. Yeah. It's a hard battle, but you know, if you have the right intention, bro. Honestly, the main thing is benefit.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a podcast.
100%.
Listen to it, enjoy it, take something away from it, and then boom, you move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I reckon we ended on this one question. What should cancel culture look like going forward? If it's to do anything
that's a perfect answer.
No, I'm asking just based off of maybe opinion. Yeah, if you don't know, pretty much you can say you don't know, but do you have any ideas that you reckon will at least aid the situation?
It's a tough one because there's so much we're not in control of. Like so much, like 95%.
I think we should disable certain people's Twitter and Instagram accounts. Like there should be somebody who says something really stupid, and then surely like a general consensus, everyone looks at it and goes, "That's something dumb."
You get 2 strikes, not 3.
Yeah.
2, boom, you're out.
And then just get them off, you know? Because they've shown that like the adverse effects of what people read online. Like some people don't even read the comments. Yeah, like. That's how bad, like, the YouTube videos, like, they'll have 3 million people liking what they're doing and whatever, and then, like, it'll be a handful of spastics who come online and they just give it to their lives, yeah? And then those 300 people out of the 3 million that were actually giving them praise and stuff like that, those 300 linger on their minds, and they just dwell on it, and it has effects on their mental state. Like, those type of people shouldn't have a platform. For me, it's like, you see people not benefiting or not doing anything, like, anything good. They're not really contributing to the situation at all. Yeah. Like if there's something bad, all right, describe why it's bad, and then share your opinion in like a logical. If you saw someone on the street, I want you to take it offline. Yeah, say someone saw Dave Chappelle on the side of the street. Would they yell out to him, "You homophobic, transphobic piece of beep," and giving it to his life?
The only way someone would do that is if they're in a car driving and they weren't looking him face to face.
From a distance.
Nobody does that, bro. Yeah. So why is it that now all of a sudden there's different rules just because we're behind a keyboard? Yeah? It's like the person's still going to read it in this world and the adverse effects on their brain is still going to be in this world. So there should be some sort of like repercussions for their actions.
Yeah, I think so. I think reporting accounts should be a lot easier. Like I've never reported an account. I don't know how it works, but I think it should be a lot more simpler and quicker. Like if someone says something really outrageous, get him out there.
You know what I mean?
Out the door, yeah.
Like there's certain things where you don't need to comment. Like if somebody's ugly to you, don't comment they're ugly. Relax. You know? What they do so bad to you, bro. Someone's cringy. He just did the tear on re-laugh.
Bro, but honestly, man, like, yeah, some people are bad. Like, you see some comments, like, why are you even saying that? Like, it's in your head. There's no need to say it. Like, I would say there's even worse things where people say, let's say, Dean-wise, for example, oh, yeah, I got up and did this and prayed this and, read this. It's like, why are you telling people? Like, it's, yes, you did it maybe, and inshallah you get rewarded, but it's like, you don't need to tell people. People need that attention for some reason.
But you can, bro, this is the funny thing about the internet, yeah? Say you're on TikTok and you're watching a video. You don't like the look of a person. You can do that. You can swipe past it.
Simple.
And that's it. It's problem solved. But they go back to it and they press on it. I have to do something about this person looking like this or being this way. I'm the one who's going to stop this person. Tuck, 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 tuck. And they don't realize on the other side, there's actually a human being who has feelings, emotions, has their own like issues. And what you're doing is you're piling more on top of them. It's like they didn't already know what the issues were.
And it's so much effort, man. Like you said, go to the comment section. Actually write it down like an essay. Reply again. It's like, come on, man.
Them people are dusty, bro. Wallah.
What a way to end it.
Wallah, you need to get rid of them. But that's what I'm saying. I think the only way for people to progress is to look at, obviously, like in this world, you look at somebody's track record and you can go from there, like, you should or you shouldn't be able to say certain things.
The only thing is like who picks,
like
consensus. The ijma.
Like no. But the thing is, like, I think like there's a general consensus. Like if somebody's doing
common sense,
if somebody's just abusing somebody online, then
look,
you shouldn't be on there.
You say consensus, and then Donald Trump gets the most votes. Like you were talking about before. Yeah. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then people say Donald Trump supporters of this. It's like, if there's 100 million of them, it's like, come on, bro. Think about it.
The world doesn't.
And that's the only thing, like, because I'm out of the loop with social media, it will be hard for me to actually give an opinion for how to solve or at least move forward.
I am too.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if
somebody... TikTok, does TikTok help with that stuff or not really? Like cancelling? Or not really?
Oh, there was this one girl recently that they cancelled. Okay. Because she done something bad.
I think it's a lot easier to cancel.
But she still got 14 million followers.
She ain't cancelled, fam. She's making a living off it.
Wallah. No, but I don't think she's made videos recently. There's no point of like I don't know, like talking about that situation because it doesn't really have any relevance to this situation. But
I'd love to hear what people say there.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Like, obviously, like nobody's wrong in this situation unless you're saying, everyone deserves abuse. but like, then you deserve to be axed from life. But
hard.
I'm one of them. You don't even know. but yeah, no, I genuinely think like we don't put people in parliament, yeah, just because the numbers that they garner or the people that support them, yeah. We have to put them in there because what they're putting across, or what they're like standing up for, is actually something that deserves to be like put on a platform or on a podium for people to speak. So the problem is now, why are we getting people who abuse and do certain things wrong and attack others? Why are we giving them a platform online as well? We wouldn't give them the podium in the parliament and tell them, hey, go ahead, give everyone a shellacking, yeah? That's I think we should take it like that. No, we'll leave it there.
Maybe it's too easy to make accounts. Maybe there needs to be a longer process in actually making one.
It needs to be a longer app. I need to say Wally, because that guy's the most addicted to social media at all.
We'll get his opinion soon.
But I would love for you guys to actually, because I know some of you don't feel comfortable obviously messaging or commenting on YouTube. If you can, message us on FairDinkum on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We'd love to hear your opinions of maybe how we can move forward, maybe even our perspectives, because this is a topic that cancel cultures and all this stuff being misunderstood is new to all of us. You know, we're all going through this stage, and to the infancy stage between all of us, you know, us and the entire community. So I'd love to hear your opinion. And with that, also remember to like, comment, and subscribe, inshallah.
Just subscribe. How about that? Because I know 55% of you. I see the analytics.
I see 50 likes each time, but I want more subscribers.
50% of them don't subscribe, and I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
Cancel me if you want, but make sure you subscribe.